if there's anything that works on the stage, from the stage what is transmitted is the stimulation of the audience's minds. So I'm not at all in favor of these grand productions which try to create an illusion on the stage. The illusion has to be created in the listeners' minds. That's what I have come to believe.
As a young actor, before you went into NSD, was there a change when you went into NSD? Was there a mannered acting that you subscribed to earlier? Did that change because of NSD, or you always stood out among your peers as a more felt actor, so to say?
A lot of the acting in NSD productions was pretty terrible too, you know. And I kind of knew from an early age which is the kind of acting I liked and which I didn't. I didn't know why. For the same reason as I didn't know why I loved a film like The Wizard of Oz, but hated a film called Udan Khatola, which I saw at the same time, more or less the same age. Why I loved a film called Scaramouche and did not like a Hindi equivalent of it. You know, the swashbuckling stuff. I was able many years later to define why. And that is why my somewhat snobbish aversion to most of Hindi cinema. Because, I mean, we're still remaking Hollywood movies made 80 years ago. We're still remaking them. I just don't understand it, and there is really no justification for it as far as I'm concerned. But I realized that there's just a quality of finesse, there's a quality of excellence in these movies which our films didn't have for a very long time. We are moving closer to it, there's no doubt about it. But even then, later, now of course, I have come to the conclusion that a good performance is one which communicates the content well. It has nothing to do with how many voices you can change or how many expressions you can put on or how beautifully you move on the stage or anything of the sort. It has to do with how well you can get across. In order to get across, you need a set of several skills which you have to train. It's not just that easy to say, I'm trying to get across. No, there are techniques for getting across. And in my mind, simplicity is the best one. And I'll tell you a beautiful little story about two actors in the No theater, the Japanese No theater, which is an extremely stylized, very formal kind of theater which is performed in temples, where everything is codified, all the gestures, all the expressions, all the emotions are codified. There is a gesture for sadness, there is a gesture for despair, there is a gesture for anger, etc., etc. There is a gesture for pointing at the moon. Pointing at the moon. Now there were two actors, one of whom, when he appeared and performed this gesture, the audience gasped because he was so graceful and so light and so beautiful to look at and so expressive and so technically proficient that when he performed the gesture, the audience gasped. There was another actor who had none of these qualities. But when he pointed at the moon, the audience saw the moon.